We start with a geography being an interdisciplinary thing, subject. We have so much. We are very fortunate that we can discuss, we can read, we can talk, we can write on such a wide subject. Because when you talk of the society, you are social geographer. When you talk of the population, you're a population geographer. So like this, we all know that as geographers, being a geography being an interdisciplinary subject, it gives us a huge scope of writing. And I've gone through your article, as I said, and I'll give you now. This is something which is not my it's not something made by me, but this is something I saw on the web, so I picked it up. Gives you a general picture of what is an an academic. When we say academic article, so academic article is has to be something which is factual, and which is something which is also concise, right? It's not it's very different from fiction. It's very different from that you're just narrating a story, unless that story is based upon the actual events. So that is the difference between an academic article and a fiction or a story, etc. Also, where are you actually publishing this article? Is this in a magazine, or is it in a journal, in an academic journal? So the format will change accordingly. Okay, so all those things we'll be discussing later. Now, just the general thing is that articles can be informative, they can be persuasive. That means you're trying to influence the reader's thoughts and action. They can be narrative. They can be narrative in the sense that you're narrating an event, you're narrating a journey. They can be descriptive as regional geographers, or again, description can be even an event. And they can also be case studies, they can be news type, they can be a letter to in many forms they can be there. Now what I wanted to show you was, which is not here, is that when you take an art picture like this, how do you give credit? तो मेरा आई थिंक इसके अंदर आया नहीं है, because whenever, like, this is, as I said earlier, this is not something which I feel it's relevant to my talk. It's not something which is made by me, so I must give the credit for this. You must write the source. I must give the credit that where did I take it from. That is very, very important. And I see that missing in most of the places, because we feel that whenever we go on the internet, and internet is a very anonymous thing in many ways. You pick up things, you write it, and you make your own story. But this, whatever is not yours, should always be given credit, should always be told that this is the source. So that I feel is the basis and most important thing of writing when you're writing, and you should be very careful on that. Then I had it written. I think उसमें से miss हो गया, that how will you write it? How will you write it? So you have to actually give the link, since it's from this thing. You have to give a link, and also say that this was, when was it accessed. So if I say, this is the link, and it was accessed on 7th June 2025. So you have to write that below always, whatever you do. Okay. Okay. Now, let's get a larger view that when you start writing, what are the prerequisites of writing any article. Uh, First is improve your writing skills. In today's world, where we our WhatsApp is through emojis, you use इंग्लिश में हिंदी लिख देते हैं, क्या हो रहा है, and we write it in English. And writing skills can only come when you improve your language, when you improve your and that has to come through practice. Even a simple thing like how to write an application, how to write a letter, how to describe something, that is the basis. If you want to be a writer, if you want to write articles and really do well, you have to first form the basis, form your basis. So for that, I would say start working on yourself. Write a page every day on anything. You read a story, or you want to write about how your day went by, or you studied something in college, and that particular topic, you write about it in your own words. And journaling, as you know, is a great thing. Journaling, although it is more of what is happening with you, that also. Now when you are writing, be very careful not to write very long sentences. Okay, sometimes what happens is that you want to put everything in one sentence, so it's very hard for the reader कि ये क्या कहना चाह रहे हैं, मतलब वो जैसे वो पिक्चर में था ना, भाई ये कहना क्या चाह रहे हो. So it has to be, try and use simple words, smaller sentences, and डोंट ट्राई एंड से एवरीथिंग, और एंड डोंट थिंक कि जो पढ़ रहा है वो बुद्धू है, उसको हर चीज तुम्हें एबीसी से सब कुछ बताना पड़ेगा. राइट इन अ वे दैट अ पर्सन enjoys reading. Okay, so I think that's a very important thing, because if you just uh, if you just cut and paste and put things together, I don't think there's much readability in that. Second thing is making reading a habit. If you read, only then you can write. Reading is the fundamental thing for any kind of writing, because what happens is it gives you imagination, it gives you how to express. Otherwise, you will never know that you how to express, how a thing can be said subtly, how it can be said directly. You have the so reading is has to be an important habit for any writer, any budding writer. कुछ एक रूटीन बना लो. न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ना है, न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ो, जो कुछ पढ़ना है, कोई नॉवल पढ़ना है, लेकिन रोज थोड़ा 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 पढ़ना शुरू करो. And also, I mean, what do you think that if you expect others to read your stuff, you should also read their stuff, isn't it? बनता है ना? Then the third thing is that keep up with the current news. As geographers, geography is a very current subject. We may talk of Himalayas, but or how they were made, but what is happening to the Himalayas now, and what is the role they are playing in climate change and other things, or economy or anything. That is what makes a link with the from the past to the प्रेजेंट. सो प्रेजेंट आपको कहाँ से आएगा? प्रेजेंट आपको आएगा कि करंट न्यूज में आपको अपने आप को अपडेट रखना है. न्यूज़पेपर इज a great source for that. Of course, read good newspapers. There are many newspapers like Hindu and or any other Indian Express, which have they where they put a lot of effort in their editorials. So do that if you have, because that will give you an opinion. That will also give you how to what is current, what is interesting, or interested, or what kind of topics you can pick up while you're writing. And also you can interlink na, uh, from one news to another. There is a linkages which is very very important. Okay, the next is, so we what are we doing? We're doing what are the prerequisites for writing. So when you start writing an article, or when you start writing something, what are the prerequisites? Then read good magazines. Like I said, read good newspapers. I'm saying read good. Now, good newspaper it's not a bias. What I'm saying is that many newspapers, uh, a lot of stress is on advertisements, current happenings in the town, and not much effort is made in editorials and opinion making. So उस हिसाब से मैं कह रही हूँ good this thing. And now also read good, because whatever you read, that forms the basis of your ideas. If you read trash, तुम्हारा दिमाग भी फिर trash की रहेगा ना. So you have to read something which is where people have made an effort, something which is authentic, where which has good language, like Hindu newspaper has good language, right? Now, if you see these magazines, uh, these are I picked these up from Kamala Nehru College library, and these are five magazines I would suggest to all students that you should read along with the newspaper. Try and read whatever is of interest for you, and they give you a lot of good information. Along with this, so ये सारे magazines I'm sure हर library में होते होंगे. इसके अलावा भी there must be very nice magazines. So from my Kamala Nehru library, I thought these were the five were the most relevant. I'm sure you must have all seen. Frontline is there, Economic and Political Weekly, Down to Earth, Geography and You, National Geographic Magazine. So ये जौन से हैं सबने ही देखे होंगे, and they are very current. They are also very related to environment, to all the geography, different things which we read. Now, if you see, if you see all these all these all these magazines की websites भी हैं आजकल. तो websites हमेशा आपको check करनी चाहिए, because they form a very important source. uh, okay, now I need to show the website. Okay, for example, ये आ गया Geography and You की website है. Now what you see over here is that इसमें what are the latest articles. Now also when you go through them, inside migration, so the last one is on migration, so how in different aspects of migration have been discussed. And then you see a lot of reprints. If you want any magazine you want, what are the different topics, like you say next topic में क्या है, next is on India's spectacular heritage sites. Now if you want to write on anything, of course these are very interesting, and they're well written, well researched. So it's a must for every geographer to read them, geographer or anybody else also who's interested in such topics. So इसी तरह आपको डाउन टू अर्थ है. डाउन टू अर्थ में अगर आप पूरा देखेंगे, हेल्थ के ऊपर कौन से आर्टिकल्स हैं, एग्रीकल्चर पे कौन से आर्टिकल्स हैं, इस तरह क्लाइमेट के ऊपर कौन से हैं आर्टिकल्स हैं. इसी तरह आपको ये इकोनॉमिक एंड पॉलिटिकल वीकली की अगर आप वेबसाइट पे जाएंगे तो दे अलाउ यू सी world after Gaza. Such interesting topics have been discussed in that. Does caste matter on your wages? So very nice articles. Then there is a there is a space called special articles. So if you open this, you find that these articles on special topics, in special topics in the sense they have gone more in detail in these topics. They have been discussed over here. And then if you see the website of National Geographic. Now National Geographic is a very expensive magazine, which you cannot, I mean, most of us would like to only read it from a library, but you can also subscribe, which is subscription is usually not so expensive for all these magazines, because they are you're reading them here. And there you can find such a varied articles in that, right? So when you are going back to what we were doing, that you read good magazines. And another way of reading them or going through the kind of information maybe you can also use them as your source, that if you're writing upon suppose climate change, who else has done work on climate change, what other articles have come out, and they can become your source for what you're writing. So go on their websites wherever you can, subscribe if it is of if it is nominal and if it is of use for you, do that. Okay. uh, then we move ahead. We're still doing the prerequisites. Okay. Now this has actually already been spoken of, that geography has a very wide scope when it can cover current issues, environmental issues, travel stories, climate, population, social affairs, anything. But only thing is that these are, when the article when you write, should be informational and not fictional. And fictional means basically you're cooking up a story. You're just saying something. Don't do that. I mean, that will not be an article. That will be a story writing. Okay, so story writing और आर्टिकल में तो अंतर हो गया ना. uh, Again, another prerequisite: be clear of the purpose of your article. What is the purpose of your article? Are you trying to provide information, or are you trying to raise the awareness among people? जैसे आपका आर्टिकल हो गया कि प्लास्टिक नहीं यूज करना चाहिए, या प्लास्टिक की क्या हानियां हैं, और what are the, how bad it is for the environment. So, and how much plastic is being used. So there you're trying to raise awareness and informing the people how it is, a use of a simple thing as a plastic bag is harmful. Or are you just narrating an event? Narrating an event, it can be that you've traveled to Badrinath and you want to say, "Acha, I went from here, then I stopped here, then I went there." So it can be anyways. So your purpose of your article has to be very, very clear when you are beginning with that. Okay. Then another prerequisite is that identify your audience. तुम्हारे ऑडियंस पढ़ी लिखी ऑडियंस है, कम पढ़ी लिखी ऑडियंस है, बहुत पढ़ी लिखी ऑडियंस है, किस उम्र की है, दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. कि किस तरह का आपका ऑडियंस है, उसके हिसाब से ही व्हाट विल हैपन इज योर entire language will change, your entire format will change, what are you trying to tell others, that will change according to the audience. If you're talking to an audience which is a school going audience, then the way you'll approach it will be very different from somebody who's doing to researchers or PhD scholars. It will be very different. The topic can be the same, isn't it? जैसे तुम ज्योग्राफी पॉपुलेशन स्कूल में भी पढ़ते हो, स्कूल में एक क्लास 8 से ही शुरू हो जाता है पढ़ना, पॉपुलेशन डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, फैक्टर्स अफेक्टिंग पॉपुलेशन डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन. करते करते जब तुम बीए बैचलर्स करते हो, वहां पे भी तुम्हारा ये होता है. बट हाउ यू, योर लैंग्वेज, हाउ यू अप्रोच इट, वो तो सब अलग हो जाता है ना. इट हैज टू, मतलब otherwise the audience will say ये क्या हो रहा है, they won't get it na. Then now this is also very important, where are you getting it published. Every magazine will have, in the magazine only they'll tell you what is their requirement. So like this a little thing I picked up from EPW. So EPW की क्या requirement है कि abstract 150 to 200 words का होना चाहिए, 6 to 8 keywords होने चाहिए, author का नाम, email, all that सब होना चाहिए, ये maps ऐसे होने चाहिए. अगर आप नोट्स टू कंट्रीब्यूटर्स, नोट्स फॉर कंट्रीब्यूटर्स, अगर आप चिट्ठी लिख रहे हो तो 500 to 800 वर्ड्स होनी चाहिए. कमेंट्री लिख रहे हो तो ऐसे, बुक रिव्यू कर रहे हो तो ये ऐसे है, अगर आपका स्पेशल आर्टिकल है तो उसके 7000 वर्ड्स होने चाहिए. So how to go about it? So every magazine, I'm sure in your Bhu Chintan also you have made such rules कि उसमें इतने वर्ड्स होने चाहिए, ऐसे होना चाहिए, ये सब होना चाहिए. So when you are reading, when you want to publish your article in that particular magazine, you have to first go through what is the requirement of that magazine, and accordingly you have to format your article. So in all the magazines, whether it is on their website or on the uh, or in the magazine itself, these rules or these specifications will be mentioned, right? सो इसको कैसे करना है, कैसे परमिशन लेनी है, कैसे अप्लाई करना है, क्या करना है, ये बहुत ज़रूरी है ना। अगर तुम लिख के बैठ जाओ, फिर उसको फिर सोचो अब मैं कहाँ पे पब्लिश कराऊँ, फिर जहाँ पे भी जाओगे तो उसका फॉर्मेट ही अलग होगा, तो व्हाट विल यू डू ना। सो इट्स बेटर टू हैव सम क्लैरिटी कि वेयर आर यू लाइकली टू पब्लिश इट एंड व्हाट काइंड ऑफ रिक्वायरमेंट is there from their side for your contribution. ठीक है?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, let's move. We are still, it's still in the prerequisites only. आगे चलते हैं. Chat GPT. How, what a great tool it is, na? But remember, Chat GPT is a tool, and don't let Chat GPT become the writer. आजकल के युग में क्या हो रहा है ना, शॉर्टकट. You go to Chat GPT, उसको पैसे दे दो, become a subscriber, then just say anything. Chat GPT, how does Himalaya have an impact upon climate change or climate of the subcontinent? Chat GPT, फटाफट इधर से उधर से उधर से उधर करके एक तुम्हारे को कहानी लिख के दे देंगे, एंड से वाओ, आई एम सच अ ग्रेट राइटर. नो, इट्स यू आर नॉट द ग्रेट राइटर. The great writer is Chat GPT. Okay, and you are budding writers. If you go to these shortcuts, what will happen is तुम वहीं पे रहोगे, तुम आगे बढ़ोगे ही नहीं. And let me tell you that without reading, without researching, if you copy something, Chat GPT के करोगे तो कॉपी करोगे ना. इफ यू कॉपी समथिंग, तुम्हें क्या पता कि उसने गलत लिखा है कि नहीं, बिकॉज चैट जीपीटी इज ओनली टेकिंग मटेरियल फ्रॉम व्हाट इज बीन एंटर्ड इन ना. गॉड नोज इफ इट इज करेक्ट और नॉट, उसने जहां से दिया उसने करेक्ट है कि नहीं है. सो डोंट टेक दीज शॉर्टकट्स. इफ यू plan to be a writer, if you plan to be a researcher, do not take these shortcuts. Use chat gpt, it's a great tool, but use it as a tool, nothing else. Do your own research, think for yourself, train for yourself in writing better, read more and more. All that you have to do. Okay. So you see, I belong to an era when I did my mphil, तो कंप्यूटर भी नहीं होता था. तो आई रिमेम्बर हम हाथ से लिखते थे. देन वी यूज्ड टू सिट नेक्स्ट टू वन टाइपिस्ट सर, एंड ऑब्वियसली आवर हैंडराइटिंग वाज नॉट सो गुड कि बेचारे वो पढ़ भी लेते थे, तो तुम्हें उसको डिक्टेट करना पड़ता था. फिर पूरे को हम एडिट करते थे, उसमें थोड़ी भी गलती होगी तो पूरा पेज फिर से टाइप करना पड़ता था. व्हाट अ पेन, आई टेल यू. यू पीपल आर सो लकी to be in the era of by the time I did my PhD, I had such freedom. I had a computer, अपने आप ही फटाफट एडिट करो, अपने आप ही मैप बनाओ, GIS के इसके, कितनी फ्रीडम थी. So you were very lucky, but don't become unlucky by becoming being so dependent on that. Your skills should be still your own. ठीक है ना? Okay, I think we have finished one part of it, that is the prerequisites for writing a, an article or writing a geographical article. जो भी तुम्हारा अपना heading है, topic है, उसके हिसाब से हम करेंगे. So prerequisites में यही है कि अपने को तुमने skill development is your job. Your job, how to read good things, how to collect information from them, educate yourself, become better in grammar, writing skills, so सारा कुछ तुम्हें अपने आप करना पड़ेगा. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. Now, okay, this I copied your topic, or this topic. So the what I'm discussing now is choosing a topic. Okay, so when you choose a topic has to be very specific. You know, it should just, it should not say everything. It should not say इधर की बात भी, उधर की बात भी, ऊपर नॉर्थ साउथ ईस्ट वेस्ट सारी बातें नहीं करनी है उसमें टॉपिक में. टॉपिक हैज टू बी वेरी वेरी स्पेसिफिक. दैट इज द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग. देन अब जैसे ये टॉपिक जो है, अब इसमें मास्टरिंग भी आ गया, मास्टरिंग द आर्ट भी आ गया, स्ट्रक्चरिंग भी आ गया, एकेडमिक भी आ गया, मैगजीन भी आ गया, आर्टिकल भी आ गया. सच बिग बिग वर्ड्स ऑल पुट टुगेदर. तो जो पढ़ेगा इसको कहेगा पता नहीं इसके अंदर क्या है. इट्स सो स्कैटर्ड. एंड ये भी लगता है कि जिसने ये टॉपिक बनाया होगा उसने कहा होगा पता नहीं वो स्पीकर क्या बोलेगा, सभी कुछ डाल दो, उसमें से कुछ तो बोल ही देगा. मास्टरिंग नहीं बोलेगा तो स्ट्रक्चरिंग बोल देगा, एकेडमिक नहीं बोलेगा तो मैगजीन आर्टिकल बोल देगा. तो इट्स अ कंफ्यूज्ड टॉपिक. ठीक है, आई हैव जस्ट टेकन इट एज एन एग्जांपल. प्लीज no hard feelings. Okay, it's completely I was so happy, you know, I got a live example like that. So when you're picking up a topic, topic has to be very specific. ये ही when you say उस टॉपिक में सब कुछ आना चाहिए, और पर बड़ा स्पेसिफिक होना चाहिए, इधर उधर की बातें नहीं करनी चाहिए. एंड देन it should be something which is of interest to you. First, interest to you. If not interest to you, then interest to your target or your audience, है ना? And after that, you have to also see, is the topic even relevant? The relevance of a topic is very important, because only if it is relevant to someone in the audience, only then people will read it. Otherwise, कौन पढ़ेगा ना? It's not relevant. Then another thing is avoid copying a topic from an already published material. ये इतना मैं बताती हूँ, मैंने किताब लिखी मैपिंग द क्वालिटी ऑफ लिविंग स्पेसेस इन इंडिया. उसके बाद मैंने देखा somebody had done their MPhil exactly copying the same topic, same thing. That is unethical. You should never do that. You can read different, see different topics, how it is written, but जैसे लिखोगे वो तुमने जो करा है, तुमने जो करना है वही लिखना चाहिए. You should never blindly copy it. Anyways, copying is not allowed. Plagiarism हो जाता है वो. Then another thing is that your topic and the written matter should match. अब तुमने लिख दिया, एक टॉपिक बनाया जिसको तुमने कोई मतलब धमदार टॉपिक जिससे कि लोग पढ़ें तो अरे ये क्या टॉपिक है. यूज आजकल सबसे ज्यादा आई कैचिंग और क्या क्या है, एआई, यूज ऑफ एआई इन जीआईएस. वाह क्या बढ़िया टॉपिक है. अब तुम्हारे को तो यूज पता नहीं कि एआई का क्या है, तुम्हें तो यही पता है कि जीआईएस का क्या मतलब है. व्हाट डज जीआईएस मीन, व्हाट आर जीआईएस टूल्स, हाउ डज जीआईएस यूज्ड, व्हाट इज इट्स और एआई का सिर्फ बिगनिंग में कहीं पे एक वर्ड लिख दिया, एआई इज वेरी यूजफुल इन जीआईएस. उसके बाद एआई कहीं पे आया ही नहीं. सो दैट इज नॉट करेक्ट ना. व्हेन यू राइट योर टॉपिक शुड मैच. ये तो बहुत बार होता है, मैं तो इवन न्यूज़पेपर्स में होता है. समटाइम्स द हेडिंग इज सो कैचिंग, यू नो, अरे देखते हैं क्या है, जो उसने लिखा होता है वो अंदर होता ही नहीं है, और या अंदर कहीं पे साइड के ऊपर छोटा सा लिखा होता है, बाकी गॉड नोस अदर थिंग्स आर रिटन एवरीथिंग. सो जब तुम टॉपिक चूज करते हो, टॉपिक शुड बी वेरी स्पेसिफिक, शुड बी वेरी क्लियरली रिटन, It should be very relevant. It should be very relevant to your audience, whoever your audience is. Never blindly just copy a topic. अरे ये तो बहुत अच्छा टॉपिक है, इसको हम भी कॉपी कर लेते हैं. ऐसे नहीं करना कभी भी. और ऐसे नहीं करना कि टॉपिक कुछ और है, अंदर कुछ और लिखा है. वो भी मत करना, बिकॉज चीटिंग हो गई ना. चीटिंग 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 हो गई ना. व्हाट डू यू से?
Of course, ma'am.
या है ना, चीटिंग हो गई. तो so this is the things you have to keep in mind when you are choosing a topic. Now the next important thing while you are before you write an article, once your topic is chosen, okay, now how do you collect information? Is your first thing we say, is your article based on primary data or secondary data? Now we all know primary data मतलब तुम एक क्वेश्चन सर्वे करो, या तुम ऑब्जर्वेशन करो, या तुम कहीं जाके उस जगह को देख के आओ, फिर उसके बारे में लिखो. और सेकेंडरी डेटा है, किसी और ने ऑलरेडी वो डेटा कलेक्ट किया हुआ है, आप उसको लेके यू एनालाइज इट एंड यू बिल्ड योर हाइपोथेसिस अराउंड इट. Right? Now, what I've seen Bhuchintan, as I said, I only saw one. Basically, it's based on secondary data. Primary data is a lot more effort, and but it's not it cannot be done. You can even have small studies like how many, if you look at perception survey, perception survey, how many DU students are happy with their infrastructure or whatever, or with the admission process, and just collect it. So easy to collect these days. Have a Google form and give it, pass it to all your friends and everything. And तो फिर इसको उसको एनालाइज करोगे, उसका डेटा फिर तो प्राइमरी डेटा हो जाएगा, एंड सेकेंडरी डेटा वी ऑल नो. Now, the thing is, this I realized when I was writing my book was that information must be collected from credible sources. हर सोर्स क्रेडिबल नहीं होता. मैंने पता है कितनी बार आई गॉट इनटू ट्रबल एंड आई हैड टू चेंज. कई बार क्या होता है, यू रीड दीज मैगजीन्स and you pick up you एक मिनट, sorry, this call is coming. जस्ट अ मिनट. हाँ. सो तुम वो डेटा तुम वो उठा लेते हो, या न्यूज़पेपर में आ गया कि 6 बिलियन रुपीज स्पेंट ऑन हाउसिंग. तो तुम सोचते हो यही है. तुम भी तो अपने जब कहानी लिख रहे हो हाउसिंग की, तो लिखते हो तो इंडियन गवर्नमेंट स्पेंट 6 बिलियन रुपीज. देन यू when you realize that what is their source, what is their source, and then you go back to the source and you realize ki that has been that's not correct. Okay, that, so it is very important that your source of data has to be very credible. And what is credible source? Credible sources are usually, we will say that जैसे अगर पॉपुलेशन का डेटा, इंडियन पॉपुलेशन का डेटा लेना है, तो आप सेंसस से ही लोगे. आप किसी ने कोई रिसर्च किया है, कोई अखबार में आ गया है, दैट इज नॉट अ क्रेडिबल सोर्स. या तुमने कोई एनवायरनमेंट का डेटा लेना है या कुछ, तो तुम मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एनवायरनमेंट में उनकी उनकी कोई डेटा दिया है, या गवर्नमेंट का कोई डेटा है, इस तरह का आपको देखने पड़ेंगे. Never think that something which has come in a newspaper or some article of somebody else is a credible source. Always go back to जहां से वो ओरिजिन किसी ने बताया है, go back to that source, and of course always mention कि ये हमारा source है. Okay, otherwise you get into so much trouble when you writing an article, फिर आखिर में जाके तुम्हें लगता है it starts contradicting. So go always on very credible sources. Then if you have a lot of facts and figures, they should be cross checked, and source should always be mentioned. Never say अपन की मैं ही कह रहा हूँ ये. Source should always be mentioned. Even when you're giving a simple thing like a classification, you say the ridges are, or the coral reefs are classified into 4 categories. अब वो 4 कैटेगरीज किसने करी है? तुमने तो नहीं करी ना। वो 4 कैटेगरीज की क्लासिफिकेशन किसने दी है? आप उसका नाम दीजिए कि मिस्टर एक्स और प्रोफेसर सो एंड सो हैज गिवन दिस categorization. Never just do it, you know. Got it? And going ahead with this, credible sources क्या होते हैं? Example है credible sources का census of India, United Nation handbooks, even their websites, government statistics from website of various ministries, Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Agriculture. उनकी website पे जाओ, वो सारा उनके पास जो होता है वो होता है. फिर लोकसभा और राज्यसभा की जो डिस्कशंस होती हैं, दे हैव वेरी गुड सोर्स, बिकॉज लोकसभा और राज्यसभा में कभी क्वेश्चंस जब आता है ना कि how much money was spent on this and how many dams have been built. Now those ministries have to come to the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha and give that information. That information is always very authentic. And if you go to Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha sites, इनकी वेबसाइट पे जाओगे तो सारी डिस्कशन, सारे क्वेश्चंस वहां पे दिए हुए हैं. थोड़ी मेहनत करनी पड़ती है, लेकिन तुम जाओगे तो तुम्हें सब कुछ मिल जाएगा वहां पे. तो अगर तुम्हारा टॉपिक कोई भी है, उसके रिलेटेड क्वेश्चंस, उसके रिलेटेड डेटा क्या है, आपको वहां पे जाना पड़ेगा. जाओगे तो अच्छा रहेगा तुम्हारे को. यू विल नो व्हाट इज ऑथेंटिक. यू विल नो मेनी अदर थिंग्स व्हिच यू नॉट इवन नो अबाउट इट, बिकॉज दे डोंट, एवरीथिंग डजंट कम आउट इन द न्यूज़पेपर्स. ठीक है. फिर research papers, journals, academic articles, lot of websites like Shodh Ganga has all the PhDs and MPhil theses which people have written across India. You can find them. You can go through that. Of course, don't copy blindly and always check the source. ये नहीं कि वो सबसे अच्छा ही उन्होंने काम किया होगा. सोर्स आपका, जब आप कुछ बोलते हो, आपका सोर्स बहुत क्लियर होना चाहिए. That is the basis of how authentic your article is. Otherwise it can be complete rubbish. तुम कुछ बोल रहे हो, है कुछ और, सब कहेंगे अरे ये क्या लिख दिया आपने. इवन यू विल फील योर सेल्फ सो बैड, कितनी मेहनत करी और उसमें आया ही नहीं मेरा. ठीक है. और सोर्स को इतनी इम्पोर्टेंस देनी चाहिए जब आप रिसर्च करते हो. आजकल तो इंटरनेट रिसर्च इज द, all journals, articles, everything is there on the internet. So you do internet research only, na? ज़्यादातर, of course, you can go to the library and see the journals and everything also. But internet research is something which is so convenient, and even within the libraries you have computers there कि उसमें से देख लो तुम. उसमें आपने साथ साथ, जैसे सपोज you think that this paragraph is very important or this diagram is very important, this picture is very nice, उसको तुमने कॉपी पेस्ट एक वर्ड डॉक्यूमेंट पे कर लिया. साथ ही साथ उसके आपने उसका सोर्स लिख देना है उसी समय. व्हाट इज देयर सोर्स, व्हाट which link did you take it from, what time, because कई बार क्या होता है, तुम सोर्स लिख देते हो, आफ्टर सम टाइम वो डिलीट कर देता है जिसने लिखा होता है वहां पे. तो तुम, बट यू कैन से अरे नो नो, ऑन दिस डेट आई सॉ एट दिस टाइम इट वाज देयर. तो यू हैव टू बी वेरी पर्टिकुलर अबाउट दैट. And this we'll be doing when we do bibliography, how to write bibliography, how to do citation. जो भी करेगा वो आपको ये पूरा डिटेल में बताएगा. Then very important, we are still doing, what are we doing, sources of your information जो आप अपने आर्टिकल के लिए लोगे. सबसे ज्यादा प्लीज अवॉइड ब्लॉग्स, सोशल मीडिया. व्हाट्सएप यूनिवर्सिटी है ना जौन सी, इतनी हमारे को एजुकेट करती है, ये हो गया, वो हो गया, ये हो गया, ये सब बेकार है. इनको अपने आर्टिकल में कभी भी कोट नहीं करना. You can take it as a lead and go back to that website from where it is taken, or journal, or statistical handbook. बट उसको मत कोट कर, मतलब उसको मत बेसिस बनाना. Give credit even if it using a photograph. Give credit. Do not cut and paste from Wikipedia से assign. जैसे article is very different from assignment ना. Teacher has said give, write an assignment on this. फटाफट विकीपीडिया एंड ऑल में गए, कट पेस्ट पैराग्राफ डाल दिए, उसमें नंबरिंग भी लिखी हुई है, कुछ भी Of course, article will never, your article will never be this thing. And citation are very important. Okay. I hope you're not getting bored.
Not at all, ma'am. Not at all.
Not at all, ma'am. It was.
I think I'm bombarding you with a lot of
No,
information.
no, no, not at all, ma'am. We are
Okay.
really learning a lot of things.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. So I'm not making it too long. I feel if today you can learn the basic things of prerequisites, how to choose a topic and how to collect information, इतना ही तुम अब्जॉर्ब कर लो तो तुम्हारी शुरुआत कैसे होती है वो तुम्हारे को पता चल जाती है. ठीक है ना. तो आगे जो है, अब ये मैं नहीं करूंगी, ये कोई जो भी और करेगा. स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ एन आर्टिकल इज ऑलवेज, इसको तीन में डिवाइड करते हैं, इंट्रोडक्शन, फिर मेन बॉडी एंड कंक्लूजन. एंड एब्स्ट्रैक्ट होना चाहिए, वो होना चाहिए, वो सब तुम्हारा. नाउ आई थिंक आज के लिए मुझे तो लगता है, इफ यू अब्जॉर्ब दिस मच, and this is a great beginning how to start writing an article, how to choose a topic, how to gain the information, where to get the information from. So thoda sa on these topics which we have discussed today, if you do some research, open some websites, open some magazine की websites, करके देखो, तो तुम्हारा थोड़ा आगे इंटरेस्ट बढ़ेगा. फिर उसके बाद आर्टिकल को कैसे स्ट्रक्चर करना है वो सब चीजें बाद की बात आएंगी. ठीक है. अब मैं क्या दिखाना चाह रही थी. थैंक यू, तो यहाँ पे तो थैंक यू हो गया. एक चीज मैं क्या दिखाना चाह रही थी, आई वाज थिंकिंग दैट आई विल गो बैक टू योर भू चिंतन. भू चिंतन तुम्हारा लेटेस्ट, ये देखो, है ना, यही है ना. Now, I just want to give you feedback. I really enjoyed reading it. Please, it's a feedback. Please take this feedback very
Sure, ma'am.
happily.
Please do. Please do.
Feedback in feedback is in connection with what we have discussed today. ठीक है. अब तुमने ये बहुत अच्छा तुमने बोला, इंडियाज क्लाइमेट क्राइसिस फेसिंग फ्लड्स, हीट वेव्स, ड्राउट्स. एक तो फिर तुमने ये आर्टिकल एट अ ग्लांस बहुत अच्छा कर दिया. Now you've done key challenges, response to mitigation. Now I think it's done very well. देखो तुमने यहाँ भी लिखा है वर्ल्ड बैंक ने ये बोला. फिर तुमने यहाँ पे लिखा फ्लोटिंग सिटीज, सबमर्ज सिटीज, solution and characteristics of floating cities. Now over here I would say, when you're writing the characteristics, it's definitely taken from somewhere. Somebody else has defined these characteristics. So it would be good if you can, if it's possible, to say that in so and so. Uh, if you can give credit at this point, कि इसके हिसाब से ये हो गया, या थोड़ा सा मतलब करोगे तो you are kind of strengthening. You are strengthening, and I would say these are very informative. An article has to be informative and interesting, and it passes in both. Uh, and these, of course, are very amazing. So I think we're very creative, whoever's done these. This is really cute and such a great message, given by making this posters, giving such a great message. So I think you all are doing a great job, and improve, do better, become better writers, become more authentic writers, and that would really. Hmm. Okay. So writing is not a chore. It's a creative thing, and to be creative, थोड़ी तो मेहनत करो अपने पे, है ना. So I loved interacting with you, and I'll share my presentation PPT. It'll
Surely,
give
ma'am.
you, हाँ, it'll just give you a basic. बाकी तो बोलने में था, पर थोड़ा ideas basic मिल जाते हैं. And I'd love to see your next edition.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It really enlightened us with this. And truly speaking, ma'am, Bhuchintan, we are trying to connect geographers throughout India. As I'm from Northeast India, and people from all over the country are joining, and we want the new generation geographers to show them a way, because today in this geographical sector, we are somewhat like we are finding that we are not getting a proper guide in this era of AI tools and generations and everything, which is totally ready made. The authentic sources and authentic things are missing out. So thank you so much. This is a great start to our webinar session, and we are delighted to have you today in our webinar. Ma'am, in the meantime, I guess we have 2 to 3 questions. Can I just take up these questions?
Yes, please, please.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. So the first question is asked by Nilay Raj. He's asking, ma'am, I'm a bit confused about the work of geographer or geography student. And he has also asked a second question, ma'am. So he has started this, what is our works as a geography student? Do we need to only assimilate data, facts, or descriptions of a region, or writing articles by using other sources or other articles is also our work? I think he could not, not able to communicate his words properly. But I guess, ma'am, he wanted to ask what is the work of a geographer and a geography student, like practical applications and maybe the theoretical applications being a student, I guess.
Okay, from what I understand, and
Yes.
it's my reply, I'm sure somebody else can also reply from the audience. Uh, See, as geographers, we should not confuse tools from knowledge. जैसे कार्टोग्राफी इज अ टूल, एज जोग्राफर्स मैप्स तो हम जरूर बनाते हैं, है ना, डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन का बनाते हैं, ये बनाते हैं. एक मिनट, एक मिनट, एक मिनट. ओके, बट मैपिंग इज अ टूल, है ना. इसी तरह जीआईएस जो है, वी शुड ऑल लर्न जीआईएस, हाउ टू मेक use it as a tool for map making, maps for analyzing. अगर तुमने ये एनालाइज करना है कि कौन सा क्रॉप कहाँ पे उग रहा है, कहाँ कौन सा एरिया में फॉरेस्ट में डिजीज हो गया है, तो जीआईएस इज अ ग्रेट टूल. तो टूल तो हमें सीखना चाहिए ना. इट विल हेल्प अस अ लॉट. वी डोंट हैव टू गो टू द फॉरेस्ट एंड और फॉरेस्ट डेटा एज सिटिंग हियर आई कैन सी. अच्छा है, या हमने देखना है कि रिवर है या सी है, एक शिप में उसमें से कितना तेल निकल रहा है और एनवायरमेंटल पोल्यूशन हो रही है. फ्रॉम द जीआईएस थिंग वी कैन, फ्रॉम द सैटेलाइट इमेजरीज यू कैन सी एंड यू कैन आइडेंटिफाई. So it's a great tool, but to say that that is everything, what is we should use it as a tool, but it is your other knowledge which has to be used alongside when you analyze. So I don't know if this is the question you're asking, कि geographers क्या होता है कि टूल्स में ही अटक जाते हैं. तुम जीआईएस एक्सपर्ट बन गए हो तो जीआईएस एक्सपर्ट तो तुम बन गए हो, तुम्हें पता है कंप्यूटर से कैसे मैप बनाना है, ये करना है, बट यू शुड ऑल्सो नो हाउ टू एनालाइज what you are seeing in a satellite imagery, or you analyze what you are seeing with that. And if you use it as a tool, then your analysis ability, because we as geographers, because we study everything, हम soil भी पढ़ते हैं, vegetation भी पढ़ते हैं, people भी पढ़ते हैं, तो हमारी interlinkages बहुत ज़्यादा है. So I don't know if this is what you were asking, but I feel that all these, as geographers, don't be stuck in a tool, but try and read more so that you are able to analyze what you see and in a tool.
Thank you
ये
so
पूछ
much.
रहा था, पता नहीं मुझे ये.
Yes.
Whoever is asking, are you happy, or you is there something else you're asking?
Nilay, if you have any confusion, can you please clearly write the questions once again so that we can take up the questions once again and ask ma'am? Ma'am, like I don't see any other questions over here, so I have a question from my side. So I was asking, ma'am, in your PPT, I have seen that prerequisites from writing geographical articles. You have mentioned one that how to like identify your audience. Now, ma'am, to have
No,
said
not how to identify.
no, no, no,
You
no.
must identify your
Yeah, yeah,
audience.
yeah. Look, my question is how to my ma'am. For example, if a 12th standard student writing on the topic of deforestation, for example, I'm telling deforestation will be a bit different from the graduation student writing from on that same topic. Same goes for someone pursuing masters or PhD. Ma'am, how can we like identify who is our audience, authentic audience, so that it reaches to that particular people who are like reading our articles and who are like getting the knowledge, who can we can get that constructive criticism from. So that is my question. How
नहीं,
can I?
ये उल्टा होना चाहिए. You
अच्छा,
have to first, before you start writing, you have to identify कि तुम्हारा audience कौन है. Are
okay.
you writing for a school book, or are you writing for research students? Who do you want? Who do you think your whatever you're writing should reach? So you have to identify your audience first. And another way of identifying your audience is, suppose you say that I want to publish my article in EPW. Now EPW definitely has an audience which is very people who are more economists, sociologists, geographers, and more current affairs like that. So then you know that, or your audience is like that. So nobody can tell you how to that who is your audience. This you have to identify that this is my audience and I'm writing for them. फिर तुम्हारा वो लेवल जो सा है वो आएगा.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So, ma'am, if you check the chat box, also people from north, south, east, west, everywhere, people have joined this session from Tamil Nadu, from northeast, and from north and
Wow,
everywhere. So it
that's an
was really an
amazing thing.
insightful session, ma'am. We are really thankful that you have showed us in way that how can we like before becoming a geographer, become before entering to that research field. I also personally think that we should learn what should we do first. What is the structure?
How should we do it?
Yeah,
That is
how
important.
should we do it?
How should we do it? It
Exactly.
is because if you just make if you want a shortcut, तुम ऐसे देख के ऐसे अच्छा मैं इस पे रिसर्च कर लेता हूँ, when you've not really seen, not read widely, and then you just get cornered. You get cornered with something. तुमने वो इसलिए करा, इसलिए नहीं करा कि तुम्हें बहुत इंटरेस्ट है, या तुम्हें इसलिए करा कि वो तुम्हारे सामने आ गया, क्या तुम्हारे गाइड ने कहा कि ये कर दो, तुम इसको कर दो, इसका डेटा बहुत मिल जाएगा, ये कर लो. तो it doesn't go very far. You can do that also, but the thing is that at the same time you need to work on yourself. Language is such an important thing. Language, learn language, read a lot. And reading, when you read, it is, don't read trash. Go to authentic sources. तो तुम्हारा जब बेस बनता है ना, तब तुम्हें इट इज एन आई ओपनिंग थिंग कि दुनिया में कितना कुछ हो रहा है.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. Anyone is having any questions, you can put up for one last time. And in the meantime, okay, so ma'am Shubham Raj has put on his question once again. So he's asking, is it ethical rephrasing or restructuring your sentence with the help of AI tools?
देखो एआई टूल्स का मैं तुम्हें I'm saying again and again that don't dip it. AI can give you use it as a tool. That suppose you want to make know कि क्या क्या हो रहा है, some things can be added. You can, where are you missing out? But don't use that language. I'm telling you, there's so many people I've seen, people who write speeches, people who are writing WhatsApp messages. उसको AI में से they are AI will क्या क्या will use the best words, will use so many synonyms together. तुम्हें पता चल जाएगा कि ये तुमने अपने आप नहीं लिखा. And because it doesn't have you, it doesn't have the passion in of your this thing. It's just कट एंड पेस्ट, यहाँ से यहाँ से यहाँ से यहाँ से जोड़ा. तुम कभी एआई का पढ़ के देखो तो तुम्हें लगेगा कि जो चीज हम आराम से लिख सकते हैं, एआई हैज रिटन, you know so many things, so many words. Oh ma'am, you are so good, you are excellent, you are this thing. तो ऐसे कोई बोलता नहीं है ना. और उसका क्या फायदा? एआई को टूल की तरह आप यूज कर सकते हो, बट डोंट बिकम Don't become dependent on AI. At this stage, write yourself, read, write.
Thank you,
रोज
ma'am.
रोज एक पेज पर एक रोज का पेज एक पेज लिख डालो. And पता है one page writing is very tough. Even if I say na that okay why you write one page on the today's lecture and write it, you it is be very difficult because we are so unused to writing. Your language, shortcuts, spelling mistakes, grammatical mistakes, everything will show up.
Absolutely, ma'am. Absolutely. Like, ma'am, in AI also we can see in Chat GPT, they are giving the answers, but still it's a copy paste that
Of course, it's copy
you have
paste.
said that someone has copied your MPhil thesis topic. That's also they are also not giving any citation or references, so it's
No, they are
totally
saying it's
copy.
their own. They're saying that's all their own.
Exactly, that's what.
And my thanks to all my budding geographers. I feel so happy and proud, ये हमारे आगे की generation जुड़ रही है. Wish you all the best. May you do better and better.